Hey, we're back. You don't run easy enough. You don't run slow enough. Let's talk about it. But hey, before we get to that, Berlin Marathon, tick. New York, tick. Osaka Marathon, tick. Boston, London, tick. What's next? What do you have planned next? What's the next goal, Aubrey? Well, let me take you back to Aubrey in the house. He'll bring you up to speed, and you can join me outside again.
So the next training block starts now. I'm gonna start training for a marathon. You heard me right. I'm gonna start training for a marathon. What marathon? I don't yet know. Okay? I don't have a marathon confirmed. I'm very transparent on my channel. I would tell you I don't have one yet. But I found that I'm most consistent with my running when I've got a goal in mind. Okay? And the goal is to be ready to run a marathon. Now, here's how this has come up. I was on Instagram, and a personal friend of mine, her name is Kim. On Instagram, she is Track Club Babe. Very kind lady. I've met her husband, and their little girl. Anyway, she posted up this. 2025 4 marathons. That. And I thought, you know what? Better get ready just in case. Because when you look on that list, there is Sydney Marathon. Sydney, which is in August, recently made a world major. There is Berlin. What if I'm invited again? There is Chicago. What if? Right? Anyway, I went on my Instagram. I made a random post. Actually, this post. And part of it, I was just thanking Thomas for what he has done. Anyway, he decided to comment this. There is no confirmed place. I don't have a place at Chicago Marathon. Nothing has been said. But what I don't want to do is get to that time and I'm not training. So I decided to do 3 things. I'm going to run anyway because I like running, and training for a marathon, I find, keeps me locked in. Second, training for the marathon allows me to create a training series on my YouTube channel to engage with you guys and also get you involved in your own running. Thirdly, what if I get given a place? That's it. Anyway, there's another post. This guy then said, well, if you're going to run Sydney, you've got 16 weeks left. Now, let me emphasize, I do not have a place for Sydney. Nothing's been confirmed. I don't have a place. I don't know what's going down. I'm just hopeful. Okay? Let's just see what happens. Anyway, so fired up the Cooper app. Bang, we're on. We're going with Cooper. We're going to train for a marathon. Just in case, I've put the date to be Sydney Marathon. That's the goal. If it happens that it does, I'm going to be loud. I'll tell you all about it. Let the trolls come at me again. It's fine. We'll deal with it.
The plan is easy running. Need to do a lot more of that. And I want to challenge you that you don't run easy enough. All right. If you're on Strava, you post your runs when you finish, right? If you are too mindful about what the stats look like, it's going to impact how you run. So, for example, if you're seen running like I am, it's not the cool thing to do. And so, you run super fast and you label it on Strava saying, Zone 2, easy run. Bro, I know that's not Zone 2. I know it. You know, so sometimes it's because you're too mindful of how you will look. Because this is what my Zone 2 looks like. It looks like this. Hold on, let me show you. Like this. There is nothing sexy about this. It's nothing epic. But it's reality. It's how I run. Here is another reason. Now this one is super realistic. The only way I can stay in Zone 2 is if I'm walking. As soon as I start running, poof, I'm already in Zone 3, Zone 4. Very realistic. It happens to a lot of people. Now listen, if that is your Zone 2, stick with it. I promise you, just stick with it. It sounds very easy for me to say because I'm a little progressed from where I came from. But I want to promise you, I'm the same. I used to hate it. But it also could be that you've actually incorrectly worked out your heart rate zones. But more likely, It's right. It's exactly right. You're just gonna have to walk and pick up the pace. Before you know it, you will improve and your zone 2 starts to look like this. So funny enough, you know I said 720 per K pace? Right now, 720 per K pace is tipping me over to zone 3. So I have to slow down even more to 735, 740 per K pace to keep me in zone 2. Remember that your heart rate is going to be influenced by many things. Many things. The temperature on the day in terms of weather. How much rest you got? What are your stress levels? Are you fighting off a disease? There's so many things that can impact your heart rate. So don't be disheartened. Just keep at it. You're gonna find your groove, I promise you. One of the measures that people say about easy running is being able to carry a conversation. Can you carry a conversation as you're running? I think that's only a starting point. I'd like for you to have an accurate measure. If you can lock in a heart rate number, it's gonna be a bit more of a helpful guide. Here is what I mean. So you could, let's say I've locked in 145 beats per minute, okay? If I lock in 145 beats per minute today, that pace might be 8 minute per K pace. Keeping all conditions the same, if a month from now, the pace is now 7 minutes per K pace. 3 months, it becomes 650. You know you're improving by having in a heart rate number. So I would advise you that you actually find very accurate heart rate zones all the way to your zone 4, zone 5. This is probably going to be the biggest tip. And I've never actually heard this on any YouTube videos. So I thought I would share it to you. The number one tip I'll give you is to be present. Sometimes when you're in a good groove, you just get into a zone and you run. And you actually forget what you're doing. So the number one thing is be present. Yes, it's annoying looking at your watch the whole time. It's annoying. But you know what? It's worth it. Because you will go off track. So the second thing is, don't get too attached, too bogged down on these numbers and be like, oh my, for 5 seconds it went into zone 3, that's it, I'm done with this run, I don't want to do it anymore because I wasn't in zone 2. Chill out. Your heart and your body, they're not looking at these numbers because these numbers are just a guide at the end of the day. Also, it takes time. I've learned my body. Most of Berlin Marathon I trained for in zone 2. I've learned my body that, you know what, at this pace, probably my zone 2 pace. I've learned it. Once in a while it'll go below, it'll go over. Honestly, it's not too big a deal. Chill out and keep going. Let's talk about heart rate shift. Now, a lot of people overcomplicate this. Listen, the longer you are in your run, the harder it's going to be to keep your heart rate down because your body is getting tired. Your body's trying to fuel you. Your body's trying to keep you alive, okay? It recognizes that it needs to do what it normally does at a harder rate. Therefore, your heart rate will eventually start going up. Like right now, I'm having to do 7 minutes, 50 seconds per K pace to stay in zone 2. Also, it's a very hot day in England standards. So my body recognizes that and it says, hey, I'm gonna need to keep doing this the longer you go. So you're gonna recognize that during your workouts, even if everything has stayed the same, just the fact that you've been on your feet that much longer, your heart rate is gonna go up. So what do you do then? Long story short, slow the heck down. Slow down. Let me show you what I mean. I am 4.6K into my run, and I'm now having to run 8 minute per K pace. Even that is actually in zone 3. Oh no, what are we gonna do? We can't be telling the YouTube viewers that we're running 8 minute per K pace. Hell yeah we can. Hell yeah we can. Slow it down. I actually need to go much slower than I am right now actually. So we're probably gonna end up at that 8:10, 8:20 per K pace to close out this workout. It's a hard day, and I'm feeling it. Hey, so lastly, to your defense, running slow and easy can be boring. Imagine it's Sunday, you've got your long run, and the program says run 1.5 hours, 2 hours in zone 2. And you're like this for the whole zone 2. My goodness. Like, oh, kill me now. It's hard, but you know what? It's worth it. I get to this bit, want to go to the house, then we can break down this run. Bear with me a little bit. I've just been reminded that I've got to hang out some washing. You know them ones where the missus doesn't know you're a hardcore YouTuber / influencer. Still reminds you that you've got housework to do. Yeah. So let me just do that and then we'll break down the workout. Washing done. Had a shower. Let's break down the workout. So here you go. I'm going to share with you my screen. This is my Garmin app. Let's go to activities. Boom. Running. And there we go. Here is today's run. We're going to talk through it and I'll show you all the details in a very transparent way so you see what my training is like as I go. Starting with this one. I want to emphasize just to embrace who you are as a runner. The paces you do. You don't have to act like they do. You don't have to run like them. You know, so I'm going to be extra transparent as I go. So summarizing, 5K done. An average of 145. And I told you whilst I was on the run, that's what I aimed for. It took 37 minutes of nearly just under 40 minutes of running at an average pace of 7:30. Now remember, we went out aiming for 7:20, burnt 400 calories. Let's carry on. Here you go. I don't track splits as per K. It's irrelevant for a run like this unless of course I'm doing intervals. So that's all you're going to see, the 5K there at the pace. This slide is what I want to talk to you about, the charts. You can see there's a consistency there, but majority of that run I slowed down because I was trying to keep the heart rate. So that's the pace. Moving on to the heart rate, there you go. I talked to you about heart rate shift. If you look at this chart, you're going to see from the beginning of the run, as it progresses, when I hit that, maybe that 10-minute mark, you can see that the heart rate escalates and gradually stays up. That's called heart rate shift. It's going to happen. The simplest explanation is your body is trying to keep you going and therefore it tires. It recognizes your body needs support and it starts working a little bit harder the longer you are on the run. But essentially, maximum heart rate of 162. We averaged it out at 145 and I'm proud of that. I'll show you what my heart rate zones are in a second. Okay, the training effect, this is purely anaerobic. For those of you not too familiar with what that is, essentially your runs will have an anaerobic effect or an aerobic effect. In this base building period of my marathon training block, we're essentially going to be focusing on that aerobic, building that base, but there will be some workouts that will challenge the anaerobic as well, getting to that VO2 max, getting you used to faster paces. But for marathon training, my focus is always that base building because of the duration of the marathon run. I'm out there running for 4.5 to 5 hours, you know, so you want to make sure you can endure for that long. All right. I'm going to ignore the elevation. It's irrelevant for now. Performance condition, cadence for an easy run like this. Actually, I'm pretty impressed with that. 160, maximum of 170, but I don't think it's highly relevant for an easy zone 2 run like this. Let's move on. Won't discuss that. I want to get to, here you go, time in heart rate zones. So you're going to see, if you look closely, my zone 1 is anything between 125 beats per minute to 137, 138 to 151. That's my zone 2. And if you look at that, you're going to see the majority of this run, 28 minutes of the 37 was in that. Some of that was zone 1 at the very beginning when I was getting started, because I did keep the same pace throughout. But at the very start, you're still fresh. You're not really worked up your engine just yet. Some of that, when I kind of went up, went into zone 3. But you will see the majority of this run, zone 2, which is exactly where we want to be. Okay? That is normally what I look at. I don't normally look at everything else. But what I do want to show you
if we go out of here and search for Stride, which is the app that I installed, and there you go. This is the run I just did. Let's close it out. Perceived effort, it's pre-populated it. I'm gonna go easy. It felt great. Now I don't need all of this, so we're gonna save it. Now this app tries to show you additional things that I trust more than I do the Garmin app, because a wrist-based measure can never be as accurate as what your feet are doing. Anyway, so you're gonna see similar kind of things in terms of the splits. It was the 37 minutes, but you're now starting to see what's the power. So if I go into the power, you're going to see the fluctuations of how much power I was generating in that run. This is an alternative measure away from speed or pace. How much power are you generating? And you can actually track your performance in terms of that. So there you go. Let's go back. Pace, similar to what you have seen. This was driving the Garmin, so it's not really anything that you need to be aware of. And then the heart rate data is coming from the Garmin, so it's pretty much the same. But the one thing that I do like is the fact that there is a different dimension to tracking your performance, that power. That is something that interests me. I'm going to explore that in a later video for you, so you can see that in terms of tracking your performance, you can look at pace, you can look at heart rate, but you can also look at power. So I'll explain that in a later video, but I just thought I would just show you what the numbers look like now that I've concluded it. Much more of these to come, but expect the running shoe reviews, comparisons, race vlogs, these training vlogs. But newly introduced is my podcast. I'm excited about that, and I hope you will check it out. Anyway, all done. I'll see you in the next one.